Family, it's low key. How y'all doing tonight? I got a special guest for y'all tonight. I never thought I'd be doing an interview like this. Let's get into it. Tonight, I'm going to be interviewing Mr. John Hardy. He is a go-to source for astro enlightenment. He also has an amazing book coming out titled Salt and Water for the Soul, and it deals with astro enlightenment. I'm blessed and fortunate to share the airways with this man, and I have a feeling by the end of this interview, everyone listening will appreciate him just as much as I do. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mr. John Hardy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for that intro, good brother. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
You got it, family. And like I said, man, this is an honor for me more than anything. You know, whenever I can talk to somebody that's in tune with the stars, brother. We're gonna hop into the interview though, all right? You ready for this? And listen, this is not rehearsed. This is all I came up with 10 questions and I got a bonus question for John. You know what I'm saying? But this is not rehearsed, right?
I can definitely agree with him right now. We basically he was supposed to send me some questions, but he caught me off guard and said he's gonna do it tonight. And I told him, I'm built for this.
Big facts, super facts. Let's get into it.
You know what I mean? I ain't got no rules and regulations to abide by. Just throw them my way. Any question?
Super facts. Question number 1. Is the flat earth theory a trap? We gonna go in.
Okay.
Like that. He like that.
You know why I like that? Because I always tell people I don't debate nothing where I can't verify myself. You know what I mean? Nobody can leave this earth to debate it. So
exactly.
Theories are made not to prove things. Now, I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on that. But outside of that, I don't think nobody should be debating if the earth is flat all around, because nobody can leave this earth and prove it. So we going back into the rich versus the poor, the white versus the black. It's just made to debate. It's made to debate. Now, getting into the concept of it, if the earth's flat, it's my personal opinion. It is, but it's not. So that's kind of contradicting itself. So if you were to get a Nico high-tech camera, you would see planets like Venus, right? Because some people debate it. They would say, well, look at the moon, look at the sun, and look at the planets. If they all round, then Earth should be round.
Right.
NASA put those pictures out. NASA, listen, NASA put those pictures out. Okay, the moon discovery, that's all NASA. If you get a real telescope, you will see that you can zoom into is technically a ball of light. And it'll be moving like this.
Right, you know
I mean? So I'm just thinking, because I can't prove this, what if we are just a ball of light like that, which would show the world to be flat but in a round shape?
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So this earth, right, we are light beings. We are electrical beings. You know what I mean? We are made of new, if you go to the Bible speaks of 666. Only 2 times the Bible speaks of 666, and it's never negative. 666 is the creation of man.
I heard about that.
6 protons, neutrons, and electrons. When you get to the electrons, you get to electric field of the creation of human and even neutrons. So when you get into that cosmetic depth about us being electric beings, Dr. Sebi broke that down. When you get into that aspect of it, we are like batteries. This is why you see batteries say alkaline, and we supposed to eat an alkaline diet. And if not, the battery go bad. It's acidic. So this whole planet could be just electric beings from another galaxy that somebody on Venus looking at us can't see if it's material. Because when you get into a 5th dimension of a conscious mind, you're dealing with this table is not solid.
Right.
Get into the aspect of people walking through walls in a metaphoric way. So me personally, like, I won't debate, just off the top of my head, I would say if the world is flat. It's still got a round shape of a distortion, but it's made of light energy. See what I'm saying? It's light energy that can make it look flat.
That's crazy.
It's not made to debate.
Next question, sir. Now this is kind of going into that.
Oh, I'm gonna take a sip for this one.
This is kind of piggybacking off of that. Are we living in a matrix or a simulation? You feel like?
Now that's a definite answer. Yes, we're living in the Matrix world. If you watch the movie Matrix, right, you can watch all the movies of Matrix. There's hidden subliminals in there. You know what I mean? So we're living in the world and making sure of a world of illusions. Okay, and this is being broken right now. Now in astrology, Pisces rules religion. The age of Pisces ruled religion. This is what Jesus came out and had everything to do with fishes, because Pisces symbolizes fishes.
Right.
So Pisces rules religion. But now we're coming into the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is revealing. It's taking the hood off of religion people and saying that, no, this is the spiritual world. You've been hoodwinked like the Wizard of Oz, that dude in the back with the curtain. They be you know what I mean? So now we're in the age of people realizing either, some say the black man is God, some say people are God. I believe there's a divine creator, but in all reality, we're coming in the age of people realizing they have the power of God within them.
Yes, sir.
Because we're all one. So if God created this, we're particles of God. So yes, we've been hoodwinked in a lot of ways. I can go from the pipeline education to that's putting people in jail, education system screwed. You get into religion and you see somebody like Kirk Franklin, maybe smoking weed, or he's wearing lipstick, or he's doing everything that's not godly. You know what I mean? You can get into the colleges where they got the SAT testing, but the first SAT test you take is basically the real test. And then they will go in to give you that, they call that a pre-SAT test. But then when you go into the real SAT test, you know what I mean? They already separate the applications. This was spoken on by Dr. Umar Johnson. They separated the application based on race. So a lot of things we're going through now, even in college. When you go to college, they don't teach you how to raise your credit score. They teach you how to get the best credit, a percentage on a credit card.
Facts.
They don't teach you entrepreneuring. So this is a basically slave race educational system for people who go to school, and the only thing they teach you is how to work for a system versus if I want to be a doctor, right? Why I don't go to school to open up my own doctor office?
That's a fact.
Why would I want to be a teacher when I could open my own school? Why would I want to be, you know what I mean? Why would I want to be this when the first thing I'll tell everybody, listen clear, when you go to school, learn entrepreneur first, and then you learn business management, and then you decide what you want to do. Because most people go to college, by the second year, they change their courses. They don't know what they do. They confusing. Our DNA molecule is structured like we all have something that we came back on this earth with to do. And everybody know that. So you take somebody like a Leo. A Leo came back with nursing in their DNA. You ask a lot of Leos, they're going to be like, I did take up dentistry. You can ask a Gemini. They was boxing. They good with their hands. See what I'm saying? So we all come back to this world with certain things. You're a Taurus. You was made to be a teacher, a philosopher. See what I'm saying? We all came back into this world for certain things, but then we just go for the money. So the system was created, simulated for you to chase the money. This is why a lot of people is not happy on a job.
Wow.
In a system of making money that's brainwashed by the system.
Wow. Woo! That's only question number 2. John Hardy going in. Shit. All right, question number 3. How do people reconnect with their souls?
You okay? In order to reconnect with your soul, right? You got to discover your divine purpose. We all got a divine purpose. I just kind of elaborated on that. We always hypothetically, I'm gonna say allegedly,
Legend.
we reincarnated to live a life for our past karmas. Okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna repeat that. We came back here to make up for our past karmas.
Wow.
So most people, again, this is where you might follow a church, right?
Okay.
When you go to church, you see a bunch of females in there, and they say, "I'm praying to God, waiting on my husband." But they've been in that church 40 years, and they found it. You feel me? So I'm telling them, like, look, you're not going to find your husband here if you've been here 20 or 40 years or whatever. God telling you to go prepare yourself to find your husband. Go make, like, if you want a good husband, you got to be a good girl. See what
Back.
So if you going to church and you looking for a job and you was in that church for 3 years and you ain't get a job, maybe you spending too much time in that church. Not saying church is a bad thing. See what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
So when we get into the aspect of like finding your soul, it's within yourself. It's not in that church. It's not in a job. It's not even with your family. You're dealing with looking in the mirror, constantly changing your mindset on what you want for yourself. Most people live to say they want things for, I want this for my daughter, I want this for my kids, I want this. No. What do you want to make you happy? That's your soul.
But let me ask you a quick question, John, to piggyback off of that. Why do you feel like it's so difficult for people to go within?
Brainwashed again. It's a system made to stop people from going within. My theory is this, right? If you want to stop poverty, right? Every individual have to worry about not being broke instead of taking it out on broke people, blaming people for being broke, or even focusing on broke people, because sometimes people focus outside of themselves so they don't have to look within themselves. So if one person is focused on I need a job, that positive energy gonna rub off with you take 10 broke friends. They say you got 9 broke friends, you'll be the 10th one. But if that could be reversed, if you're the only person working and you influence somebody else to work, and they influence somebody else to work, and they influence somebody else to work, you know what I mean? That positive energy goes. So this is soul. When you get into the soul, it's looking in the mirror at yourself. The God within you, change things about yourself. I don't want to smoke no more. I don't want to drink. I don't want to hang with these people. I know what I want for myself. That's where it starts. What makes you happy? If you were to become a millionaire, if let's say, for instance, and here's a good question. This is going to be directed at you.
Oh, shit.
If I was to pay your living expenses for the rest of your life, what would you do with it? See how deep that is?
Wait, say that one more time for me.
If I was to pay your living expenses for the rest of your life, what would you do with your life?
Oh, shit. I mean, I would do this. I would try to, keep connecting with people like you that are enlightened to just spread the word and try to bring more people together. You know what I mean?
That's your sole purpose. See, and that's how and I told you as a Taurus, you're made to teach people. You into higher learning, you into education. This is what your soul destiny was for. Some people get rich and they don't know what to do but be miserable. Do you know how many jackpot lottery winners just screwed their money up so fast? How many people wanted to be rich and they screwed it up? How many broke people robbed drug dealers just to blow that money?
And even recently, all these celebrities are hanging themselves. They're well off.
Oh, that's a whole nother time. I can go.
I know, right? It get deeper than that, but Just real quick, I want to shout out everybody in the chats. Shout out Quantavious. Shout out Lil Blurry.
And what's the good brother name? Yasix. Yasix. Shout out to Yasix.
Yes, sir. Shit, let's keep going. You want to take another sip, man, before we get into this next question? Because this next question is a little, we gonna dive in a little deeper, man.
I'm built for this.
But man, shit, bro. Free game. Y'all better fucking take notes, man. Question number 4. It was a verse. Nas was talking about Hillary Clinton. He referred to her as a reptilian. Are you familiar with that verse? If not, we can move on to the next question.
All right. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. All right. Okay. You got this planet called Nibiru, right? That's a planet that's supposed to come back 26,000 years. And this is what got rid of the dinosaurs.
Wow.
So every planet got different type of beings that were sent here. As black people, we was the original beings on this earth. Reptilians are one form. The palladium was the positive. Reptilian was a negative. Now, if you look at most of George Bush, you look at anybody they accuse to be reptilians, you'll see their eyes shapeshift. These are shape-shifting creatures. They are beings. Yes, he's correct. We've been invaded. This earth been invaded with reptilians. They've been around. They actually is what's controlling the world. These people is trying to prevent Nibiru or whatever planet that's supposed to come back. Now, if I go deeper into Iraq, and it goes deeper than that, but they are literally the controllers to a certain aspect. So let's take Illuminati, for instance. You got good Illuminati, you got bad Illuminati. Let's take the Masons. Good Masons, bad Masons. So you got aliens. You got good aliens, you got bad aliens. Reptilians are the bad aliens. Those are the ones that when you see that's going around cloning people, those are the ones that their eyes change colors. If anybody want to do it, just Google reptilians. But you can't talk to a brainwashed people because they get and debate it. It's not debatable. It's not debatable. Is she Hillary Clinton? One of those? Personally, factual speaking, scientifically, I can't say that. See what I'm saying? Reptilians do exist, yes. They here, they controlling everything, and you might even have some good reptilians. Now, I don't know about that. But I broke down a lot of rappers break that down subliminally because they under a higher power where they can't really speak on that.
And
I personally believe she's a reptilian. My personal belief, and if you look at the 13 Illuminatis, I believe they all reptilians because they all go back to some type of connection. Even Obama is related to George Bush, Bill Clinton. All presidents are related. Maybe 2 of them not blood related. All the presidents related.
Well, shit, I appreciate you for summing that up in layman's terms for people like me. I mean, that goes a long way, man, for somebody that's trying to get that understanding, that's not trying to get fake news. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Somebody that just really wants the truth in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are all the presidents, and this is nothing that's not public. There was a little girl that proved this. I've been speaking on this, but I never made it public. But there's a little girl in the science class. She's white, so they're not going to do nothing to her. She proved out of what we got 40-something presidents, all of them related except 2 by blood. Even Obama came out at one time and said, my cousin Dick Cheney got a problem with the, electricity, or, how we going to regulate electricity. He said, my cousin, you know what I mean? And then it was shown that Bill Clinton is related to. These are blood cousins. So when you look at the presidency, you might see 45 people running for president, but we always end up with 2. Why? It's a family thing. Going back to the Rothschild. Deeper. It's deep.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Question number 5. Where does our energy transfer after this vessel dies?
When like our body is like you gonna start learning to see that we chose to come here. We chose our parents. We chose to get into these vessels. When our vessels die, there is no death for us. We're back to where the origin where we came from. So like if you go back in Africa years and years ago, there was no devil. There was no hell. When Christianity started calling things witchcraft and all this, then they invented a devil and they invented hell. Prior to that, there was no devil, there was no hell. If you go back ancient African history, before uh, Egypt, which was actually called Kemet. And then if you look at Kemet, the word Kim means black. The word Kemet means black land. So, you know what I mean? So, but before Kemet, everybody talking about Egypt and Kemet was, no, you got to go back to Ethiopia. So before Kemet, Egypt got whitewashed, just like South Africa got whitewashed.
And that's why they cut the. I don't mean to interrupt you, but is that why they pretty much hacked off the noses off the pyramids? Or off the,
yeah. When they hacked off the nose, they knew black people was known for having big nose.
Right.
They hacked the nose off the pyramids. If you go to most of these museums, you always see the nose hacked off or whatever the case may be. They do that because it's like they whitewashed it, and they know with the lips and the nose. If you look at Buddha, Buddha was not a fat Chinese guy. The original Buddha was a black man with curly hair, almost knots, dreadnoughts. You know what I mean? They got him as a fat China dude.
Wow.
If you go back to Jesus, Jesus' name was Yeshua Yosef bin Yeshua ben Yosef, right? And then you go to Santa Claus. Santa Claus was Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas really existed in Africa. You go, you see what? Listen, these are physical beings. Ford did not make trucks. A black man made a truck. Thomas Edison didn't discover electricity. A black man did that, and he made the capsule for it and took credit for it. The first car was made from a black man, and car was made to represent our bodies.
But now let me ask you a question. If somebody genuinely wants to discover this history, where can they find this information?
It's hard because it's kind of scattered. So if you go back, you got to do study before the 1600s. When you go into the 1600s, everything was transpired. So let's say, for instance, you look at Puerto Rico. Before Puerto Rico became part of American, if you go back, if you Google Puerto Rico 1900, you will see black people in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
But they took Puerto Rico and they had them go against Dominicans, and then they sold out. Puerto Rico sold out, got America, and they looked at Dominicans like they spics, which is equivalent to just calling somebody a nigger, and they thought their race was more powerful because they got, they sold out to the Dominicans. Wow. You look at China sold out to Japan because Dominicans and Japanese acknowledge their ancestors are from Africa.
Wow.
Wow. Japanese say they got their martial arts and kung fu from black people. Dominicans say they got those bongos from Africa. But the Puerto Ricans in China, who's more on power, was like, oh, we don't deal with them. They think they white. Even the Arabs that's over in Africa sold out Egypt. They not from Africa. Okay, let's go deeper. If you look at Israel, Google Israel. It's on the north continent of Africa. There's no such thing as Israel. Israel is northeast Africa. Wow. And Egypt is Africa. I'm gonna take a sip to
that. That's what I'm talking about, man. They can't even find this nowhere else, man.
I'm trying not to do the race thing. I want to do the stars, but the stars go with the race because the original black people was here first. And then the albinos popped up. The albinos were the first people to have color hair, color eyes, and freckles. This is the father of the white people.
Wow. Keep talking that shit, man. I really appreciate this. My next question to you is question number 6. Do the stars ever lie?
Listen, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That goes to the stars. The stars is a calibrated effect of light of energy that's deeper than numbers. And you heard me say, I said the stars never lied, never doubted them. They landed on this while we routed them.
Boss.
You feel me?
Boss.
The stars can never lie. You take something like astrology versus astronomy. Now, people that scientists that work for NASA will always debunk astrology. They say it don't exist. It's fake or whatever. My nephew actually was doing a course and he was writing something on his class for astrology, and the teacher wouldn't accept it because of whatever the case may be. But do you know that same teacher be asking them questions? Okay, so for those who don't believe astrology exists in the scientific world, and these are the stars. Planets are stars.
Cook.
I'm gonna show all you scientific dudes, and you probably know better. Mercury going retrograde on the 26th of July. Now, Mercury going retrograde is going to cause problems in communication, technology, traveling. It slows that down. Speaking, people might get hostile speaking. Technology, contracts could be delayed. Delivery package. Automotive, it rules automotive. People cars going to be breaking down. This is why you see accidents.
Dude, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's crazy. My phone just broke the other day for no reason.
Dog, my battery don't usually go dead until it retrograde. I noticed.
Dude, that's what happened to me. My battery died on my iPhone, and then for some reason they said they can't even turn my phone back on.
That's Mercury incoming the 26th, and then we got a blood moon on top of that, the 27th. Watch the weather. Watch the weather on the 27th. Guarantee you, because Uranus rules lightning, Mercury rules electricity. Watch what happened on the 26th, 27th, 28th. Guarantee you're going to see lightning, thunderstorm, cars breaking down, accidents. The world slows down. So you just got to take your time, because you're the type of person that'll run out and forget your lighter, forget your phone. You're doing that now. You've been doing that for the last week.
It's a fact.
I don't even know you. You're doing that for the last week. You're forgetting things. You're going to be losing things. You liable to get a traffic ticket.
Dude, yesterday I got into a hit and run for no reason yesterday. Not a hit and run. Somebody rear-ended me.
Yeah, that's in your stars.
At a light. I was at a light, not even moving. Somebody at a red light, somebody rear-ended me.
That's in your stars. Traffic, you got the delay because you actually was going slow. Speeding. So you in the world where everybody is going at a normal speed. They're not speeding, but when the world slow down, everybody's at a normal pace and they speeding. Now watch how many accidents will happen. You liable to have problems with your siblings. You liable to have problems. Don't purchase nothing on the 26th until August the 19th. You could buy some electronic and you have to take it back. Wow. You ain't purchasing now till then. So do the stars lie? It can't lie because the effects of it is really happening. Mercury brings physical effects. Anybody watching this, knowing they having some effects, literally, and this is the warm-up. It ain't even hit yet. It's stationed to go retrograde. On the 26th, it goes retrograde. And this is when everybody's going to have all type of issues with family members, hostile voices, fights maybe, because you got Mars retrograding, which rules fights or whatever the case may be. You got Saturn retrograding, that rules karma. You got Venus, no, not Venus. You got Neptune retrograde, that's revealing things. Now, like I said, if you go back to Extension, and he's actually in Aquarius, but he's coming out of the sign of a Capricorn. And then you got Jimmy Wapo. They both got killed on June 18th. Coincidentally, if I can show you my wall, June 18th is when Neptune. Let me pull it up. If I can show you my wall, June 18th is when Neptune went retrograde. Neptune rules.
Wow.
You see it?
Yes, sir.
Neptune rules Pisces. That's the same day they got killed. And then if you go right here to Neptune, dreams, illusions, deceptions, retreat. So it rules people being exposed You know what I mean? A lot of Pisces getting caught up in shit because that planet rules Pisces. So the stars can't lie. And if you go back in ancient time, right? Let's go deeper than that. If you go back in ancient time, before they made clocks, when this time has changed right now, because in Ephesians chapter 18, chapter, if I'm correct, Ephesians chapter 10, verse 6 to 18, it speaks about them changing time. See what I'm saying? So now we're talking about people in higher places, in darker places, and I say that's people with robes, like judges, altering time. It said, worry not of the flesh, the principalities in the dark places. You know what I mean? So we dealing with people that's changing time, altering time. So you got daylight saving time, you got leap year, you got all this shit that's changing time. But Neptune will rule deception that would expose things. So this is how the ancients, let's go with the Kemet, Africa, Indians, Native Indians knew time because they watched the skies. They knew it was going to rain. We all know that now, but not as deep as we know it. You know what I mean? They knew a thunderstorm was coming. We had the same telekinesis as birds. A bird will fly south because they know what's coming. We had the same thing.
Wow.
Can't lie, good brother.
Wow. Okay. I like that. I just want to go in the chat real quick. Shout out to D10 coming through. D10 has a comment for you. He says that planets are fake, man. Not sure if you knew that. What? How would you respond to that?
Well, I can't. Again, that's not really debatable because I can't prove it, we can't prove it. But I'm gonna say this. Planets are not fake because they exist in the energetic level. See what I'm saying? So if the planet is fake, right? The things I just described to you, tell them get back to you on the 26th. That's me being sarcastic.
It's a fact. I mean,
ask them about his electronics and situation. But I mean, I can understand people saying the planets are fake or whatever. But if you can get a telescope and look at a planet, then you can't say it's fake. See what I'm saying? The sun and moon is planets, stars.
In response, D10 says, NASA is a lie. It's hard to believe. Yes, he is right. There are balls of energy, not planets. So I guess he's saying they're balls of energy.
Yeah, I agree with him. NASA showing pictures. NASA will show you a picture of Earth from 2002, 2012, 2017, 2005, and it keeps shape shifting. But like he said, if you get your own telescope, you will see that it's a ball of energy. So that's why I said it's not fake, it's real, but it's not. Remember what I told you earlier. Don't listen to NASA. NASA is displaying they landed on the moon. We can't go on the moon. We never left the outer space. We only can go to the inner space. We never went to certain planets. These planets are electric light beings. They are stars. Some call Saturn a fallen star. That got a ring bound around it because God kept the fallen demons inside of them. But every planet you can see with a telescope. So I can't say it's fake because if I see it and I'm like, whoa, that's it. But it's not what NASA projecting out there.
That's a fact. All right, shit. Question number 7. How do you feel about all these entertainers calling themselves gods? I think I don't know if that's been a trend for a long time, but recently it's just a lot. You got Charlemagne the God, you got Jay-Z calling himself Hova, you got Nas, God's son. It's even what was that lady's name? Meryl Streep called Harvey Weinstein a god. How do you feel about that?
I think like they all got little knowledge of self. Let's start with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Salute Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Jay-Z is from Marcy Avenue. I'm from Marcy Avenue. We were born around the same time and everything. Now, Jay-Z called himself God because he was supposed to be God body. Now, that's the difference between everybody calling themselves God. I seen one of the 5% brothers address Charlemagne the God as being a 5%er. He's not a 5%er. Never been a 5%er. and his name Charlemagne is not even within the realm of being considered a 5%. I used to be a 5%. I was brought in by my older brother, knowledge born God Allah, and his teacher was eminent God Allah. So for anybody who say they want to check, go check. Flatbush, knowledge born, eminent, Prince Unique God Allah. There was another Prince Unique God Allah. There was Shah born God Allah. Verified. Okay. And the only reason I came out of it is because, you know, they were smoking and drinking, and I'm like, how you God and you smoking and drinking or whatever the case may be. And my older brother used to actually chase me upstairs for asking questions like, why is water wet? There's actually a lesson to that, 120 degrees, that late years, we found out years later. But if people want to label themselves God, you can't judge nobody for what they're doing, because God is in many religions, the word. God is in many spirituality, the word again. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna get mad if somebody say my name is Charlemagne the God or whatever the case may be, because like unless he say he's a 5%er, there's checks and balances to that. Now we got to find out who brought you in. Do you know your lessons? And if you lying, there's consequences to that. See what I'm saying? So now we get the Hov. Hov got two aspects because he came off like he was a 5%er, Nation of Islam, which I believe he did have lessons and he did have knowledge of self. I think he cut it to the left with it because he don't wear that chain as much as Big Daddy Kane wear it. You know what I mean? So if you from the 80s, you already know you brought up into that system of, you know, learning knowledge of self from the 5%ers. But his to me, now I'm going outside. Him calling himself is bigger than the 5%er. So let's take Hov. Hov call himself Hov, and then the long aspect of Hov is Jehovah. He called it Jehovah. So you got him as God, right?
Facts.
Wife as, and I'm not gonna go too much in because I don't like talking about people's wives. You got his wife, Sasha Fierce.
Facts.
All right. That's where the Holy Grail. Then you got Kanye West, which was Nas before, as God's son. They just playing off the Trinity.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? Father, Son, Father, Holy Ghost, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. They playing off the Trinity. So Hov is God to them. Nas used to be Jesus Christ. Him and Kanye West both had the thorns on their head like there was Jesus. Sasha Fierce is the Holy Ghost. But anybody else going around calling themselves God or whatever case may be, I really don't debate that because I believe we all got a, you know, God particles in us. But to take on that name and to look at your life, and does it add up? Like when I was building with the 5%ers, we all had to stand a certain way. We all had to be in the circles, but you know, they were sniffing coke and drinking Budweisers. So,
damn.
You feel me? That's growing up. And my brother, and I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to ask because my knowledge was deeper than like, why is grass green? I come to find out grass is green because it's made of the carbon. The carbon actually make the grass green. Why is water wet? Because when it comes up 120 degrees, it's that the oxygen goes up into the air, come back around. It just goes into, like they say the world is flat, but it's in a sphere. The atmosphere of the water turns into oxygen. It goes into the air, and then depending if it hit a ice particle, it becomes snow. If it's a hot particle, it becomes rain. So oxygen just research, you know what I mean? But I couldn't get no answers. He'd get mad and be like, yo, get upstairs. Yo, you always asking dumb questions. But years later, he admitted, like, yo, everything you was asking was deep because 120 plus lessons brought that to you. You know what I mean? And then when you get into, I've been in church all my life. See what I'm saying? And being in church, I went in the depth of debating people about if Jesus is my brother and he's God's son, that makes God's son.
Facts.
And Jesus is not my father. He's my brother. And then to keep it 100, when I was locked up, I was dealing with the imam who almost started a whole war in jail over Christians and religion. And to me and the imam build, and he made a he said the same thing. He was like, listen, basically, no religion should be debating over who's God and who's not, because a true Muslim or a true Christian is not going to debate fools. It's not debatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to people putting God in their name, everybody's entitled to do whatever they want to do. I believe it's a program system because most of these rappers are choosing names that was used before in history.
Wow.
Deep.
Wow. All right. Damn. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's why I messaged you, bro. And I'm so glad that the way we hooked up was so organic, man. You just hopped in a live stream one day and now we here. You know what I mean?
It was
That's crazy.
the same way I told you it was weird. Like the same way, like I ran into you, I ran into somebody else, you know what I mean, my man John, and then all of a sudden we just started living together. You know what I mean? Me and my nephew Bobby, we really clicked together on the same aspect of just like building. It was like, man, this is a whole connection right here. So I usually don't. I told you, this is my first time. If anybody, you ask anybody about me, this dude don't leave the crib, dog. All he do is study the stars. Can't even be in a relationship if I wanted to, because I'm just talking like your Venus is over here. And I feel an angel, your energetic form, and feel your aura. They be like, can you just leave that alone now?
But shit, you never know. You might fuck around and find your twin flame, and y'all might be on the same time.
I got my baby. I got my baby right here. She knocked out in this man. She knocked out. Good job.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I won't keep you too much longer. I know your girl trying to sleep, so let's go on to question number 8.
All right, let's finish this.
All right. How important is energy and can it be manipulated?
I think energy is one of the most important things outside of the physical body. Like the physical body is a base made for you to manifest, do things you want to do. Energy is more important. Energy is basically the soul. See what I'm saying? We're energetic beings. So for people, like for instance, I'm about to shoot myself in the foot. This alcohol right here, this is alcohol, and this is acidic property. And if we're not eating living food that's alkaline, see what I'm saying? Then we're destroying the energy within us. If you notice you drink alcohol when you wake up the next day, you feel groggy. If you don't drink alcohol, you wake up feeling boostful. If you smoke a cigarette, you go smoke a cigarette. If you never smoked a cigarette in like 30 days and then light a cigarette, the next day you'll wake up feeling like you smoke weed. See what I'm saying? So energy is most important because it's not just the dealing with the exercise part, it's the dealing with the electrical part in the body. And yes, it can be manipulated. We manipulate it when we eat meat. We manipulate it when we let other people's thoughts come into our mind. Manipulated by hanging with people we ain't supposed to be hanging with. I keep my crowd around to learn. You feel me? My crowd is around, my nephew right here, to learn. And if it's knowledge, build, and then you can get to destroying. I don't want to deal with the people that's destroying. I want the knowledge to build. You know what I mean? Every time when I go into my 5% lessons, now I can look at that at a whole greater depth. When I go into the Bible, I look at that at a whole greater depth. I believe in collective science. You know what I mean? You are the company you keep. And that's energy again. Because you could be around a bunch of lazy people.
That's a fact.
Happen to be, let's go with the lazy. What's the lazy sign?
That's me. Taurus.
That's not you. That's not you.
That's my trait. That's my bad trait. Laziness.
You're not really lazy. You like a routine. Let's go with Leo. We both saying Leo. Leo is some lazy, controlling people. Now, Leo, I don't care. Listen, y'all can get mad all y'all want. Y'all are lazy, bossy, don't like to be told what to do, controlling. Leos, to me, is the laziest horoscope sign out of all. Now, if you're around 10 different Leos, hypothetically, if they, you're going to become lazy with them. Or let's say you're around Aries. Aries is some impulsive ass people. I'm surprised they don't get hit by a car a lot. Aries is super impulsive. Aries will cross the street before you. If you got beef with Aries, they jumping out the window without even knowing what happened. What happened? Who got beef? That's Aries. Aries is impulsive. They don't think before they react. So if you with them, your energy is going to run with an Aries. See what I'm saying? Now, if you would, let me get one more. I'm gonna get one more. If you were a Libra, you hang with a bunch of Libras, and I put Libras. Okay, I hate to say it, but y'all Libras are liars, though. That's what the Libras stand for.
Hold on. That Libras are liars?
You know why? Because Libras make the best lawyers. They make the best lawyers. So they can spot a liar. So they gotta know how to lie. A Libra got a Rolodex. They got a Rolodex full of lies. They got a Rolodex. When they coming out, if they cheat on you, they already got the lie pegged and everything. They're gonna be like, "Well, I was with my girlfriend. She caught a flat. I had to stop here." And if you catch in that lie, she got a backup lie. Catch them in that lie, they got another lie. Libras, my top 3 liars. I'll get to that later, but it's Virgos, Libras, and Pisces. But Libras are born liars. So if you're around a bunch of Libras, you're gonna learn how to lie. You're gonna learn how to lie. It's the company you keep again. You hang with 9 broke friends, you're gonna be the 10th. That's the energy. You know what I mean? If you hang with 10 billionaires, what do you think gonna happen? Shit, close to that.
You're gonna get your money up.
You get 5 millionaires in your phone. 5 millionaires in your phone. Just 5. What do you think gonna happen? Just the contact. You don't want no money. You just want them as friends. That's called $1 million phone. That's $1 million phone.
Super fast.
Phone that you just got millionaires in. You got your regular phone that you got people in, but you got a separate phone that you got millionaires in. You can contact them just to say what's up. That's $1 million phone.
That's a fact.
Imagine if you got 10 of them. That's a $10 million phone.
That's not a bad title for a book, sir.
I used to tell people, yo, get $1 million phone. And they'd be like, I can't afford $1 million. So when I drop this jewel on, they'd be like, oh shit, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah.
That is deep. That is deep as shit.
Cheap ass phone with me. Cheap ass phone. And just I got like 2 millionaires on my phone, and I got like 4 on my Facebook. Facebook.
That's a good look, sir. That's a good look.
Everybody waiting for me to come back on my Facebook. I took time off just to do my book because I used to do weekly predictions on astrology with everybody. My inbox is crazy right now. And they were like, glad I gotta check them. Like, yo, I'll be back because I'm coming back with a website. I'm coming back with a cash app. I'm coming back. You guys ain't getting nothing free no more. I've been giving free knowledge out for the last since I was born. And that 1 millionaire said he just changed my whole perspective.
Now, real quick, John, you know what I'm saying? You got me feeling like I'm out of the party right now. Is it all right if I go get me a glass of some wine too, so we can chop it up together for these last two or three questions?
Look at that. Look at that.
Also, if you could respond to D10, D10 says, go have an out-of-body experience. You will be able to see the energy personally around yourself instead of hearing about it. I developed a technology where it blasts the frequency into your head and it will work. How do you feel about that?
He makes sense. My outer body experience is I do lucid dreaming, so I know what you're talking about. Like I go to sleep at night with lucid dreaming, and like I'm trying to master the point where I can get to master my dreams. So, say for instance, I may be meditating on how's my mother doing. You know what I mean? I can meditate on how's my mother doing. And at one time I was meditating on how my mother doing, and I went back to 1975. In my dream, I was just astral traveling through certain aspects of my life. 1975, I kind of burnt her records on a cooking pot. 1985, we was watching Hulk Hogan. 1995, I took on a trip to London. And 2005 was kind of blurry. And that was right around the time I came to Delaware. So I would love to learn the technique he's using. You know what I mean? But yeah, astro travel, that's what I call it. Out of body experience is where you can come out of your body and see things. They had like it's a story where a dude died and he came out of his body and he was looking at the doctor fixing him. And when he came back in his body, he didn't realize he was dead. But he knew he left his body. So, like, even on YouTube, there's a lot of videos where people, but it's near-death experience. What the brother talking about is actually doing it intentionally. You know what I mean? And experiencing that. So, I technically never experienced it during meditation, but I experience it doing meditating on lucid dreaming when I go to sleep at night. If I'll give you some of the dreams that I like, I'm gonna give you one dream. Right? I had a dream, right? And this is when I was so like gun ho on praying and meditating. I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning to wake up. I used to have my salt water. See it right here? Salt water.
Wow.
Salt water for the soul. That's called Soleil. Soleil means soul. So I used to take, you could take 1/4 of a teaspoon of this and put it in a glass of 8-ounce water. There goes your anemic problem. 24 hours, your blood being regulated better. Do it for 30 days. Go check the doctor and watch what happens to your arthritis or anything else you got. Wow. And it's funny. I was hearing yesterday, and my nephew was like, I thought you was joking. He still think I'm joking that I'm sick because he'd be like, you never sick, dog. You never sick, dog. You never sick. I know about the Soleil, right? But the out-of-body experience is where people can, remember I told you, this is wood people could walk through? That's what he's talking about. A wall is not a wall. It's atoms. It's a whole bunch of molecule atoms, structures. So if you go into a meditation so deep, the shamans used to do it. Jesus did it. Buddha did it. If you go into a meditation so deep, you can actually leave out of jail and go to another side of the planet and communicate with somebody. But that person, they won't be able to see or feel you. You might be able to knock a picture down type shit. So that's the most powerful way I can explain it. But getting back to a simple way is like me personally, like I can just meditate. One experience is meditating on my mother. Is she all right? You know, I'll pray like Holy Spirit, holy angels. I just want to know if my mother's all right or whatever the case may be. And then I'll start meditating, like thinking about my mother in the deepest way until I fall asleep. When I fall asleep, guess what? I had a dream that, you know what I mean, 1975, I burned the records. 85, we was watching Hulk Hogan. 95, I took her to London. These are all facts, though. But I was just poofing in and out of the dream.
Wow.
And then another time, I was working 5 in the morning, and I ran into a lady. I'm going to make it short. And I meditated, and I prayed, and I asked, show me the signs what this lady is here for. She asked me some crazy questions. I had a dream I was killing zombies in the window. It was like a freaking video game. You know what I mean? A lady in the house was with 3 kids. Every time I have dreams, it's always got to do with kids outside. That's why I feel safe in my dreams. My dream is always outside. It's always with kids. I feel like I'm in heaven. I'm always in heaven. I know I am, right? So I had a sword. A lady in the house gave me a sword, and she had like 2 or 3 kids, and zombies was coming through the window.
Oh, fuck.
And I started killing them, and they turned to dust, and the window sealed up. This was going through the whole house. When I finished, we both was outside. Mind you, I ran into a lady who said something to me I'm not going to repeat. And I asked, the angels, Holy Spirit, holy angels, manifest what she said to me. And then when I woke up the next day, I prayed to God, what did she mean by that? And then I just happened to Google Archangel Michael carries a sword. His color is blue. That lady in my dream had on blue. The lady I seen in real life had on blue. I had a sword. So when I prayed to manifest that for me, it said I was cutting off things that are no longer good for me. Wow. And that's what the full moon for. This full moon that's coming up right now is dealing with cutting off things that's no longer good for you, no longer that served you. And this was around the full moon time. So I believe that out of body experience, like I can give you mad stories on that. I'm not gonna go deep into that, but I can give you different stories, different dreams. I'm talking about all the way to finding feathers. I just found this one is blue. That's another angel sign, angelic sign when you find feathers. You know what
Wow.
I'm?
Wow.
Yeah, but that brother is right. I definitely want him to, yeah, let me know what technique or what he used for his out experience.
Oh, absolutely. Next question, John. When did you wake up?
I always been woke. That's the biggest problem. I think
That's the biggest problem.
yeah, I think I've been stupid. I've been stupid like in my life because like I'm a type of person that be on the corner with a bunch of dudes on the streets, and then a lot of people come to me and be like, "Why you hang with these people? You're different from them." Like, and even when I was 14, I used to be like, "I don't trust Pisces." Why? Because my sisters are Pisces and they crazy. They would do shit to you or whatever the case. I don't trust Geminis. The Geminis will steal your ideas. They lying, they manipulative. So I kind of learned this, and I used to always say that. But even as a kid, I used to have dreams I was able to fly. See what I'm saying? I used to have dreams that I fall off the building and never splattered. Like as soon as I get ready to hit the ground, I float. See what I'm saying? I was having those dreams that I run so fast and I can fly, and I'm like, but I was really flying for a certain amount of feet.
Facts.
I mean, when I fell off the building, I just went like this. And then I stopped, paused, and I floated. I never had a dream where I
So
died.
he was on some Neo shit.
Yo, these was my dreams when I was a kid. So as I was growing up, I started listening to people, but I was hard-headed. Like, why you hanging with these dudes? You different from them. You know what I mean? I was able to communicate. Like one time I was in jail and the professor pulled me out of a GED class. And I thought I was in trouble. He was like, I want to ask you some questions. That's what I do. He said, nothing. I just want to know why you think the way you think. He started asking me about Ronald Reagan. He started asking me all these other questions. And I'll be like, oh, hold up. But my way of thinking was like different from the norm. And I don't mean like because I'm my age now. And when I was younger, I was still different from the norm. You know what I mean? When I was 14, I was different. When I was 22, I was different. Growing up, I was always different from the norm. So I always knew I had a gift, but I was never able to structure it because I'm ruled by Uranus. So I didn't believe in no rules, boundaries, or none of that. I do what I want to do. I grew up almost all my life not working. When I did work, I got the best job. American Express, Barclays Bank. I can go on. Chase Manhattan Bank. You know what I mean? I worked in the big places, but when I worked in those places, I learned what they did and applied it to my life. So when I worked with Chase, I learned how to manage my accounts. When I worked on American Express, I started building credit. When I worked with Barclays, I learned how to build credit score. So I kind of knew, like, I always been woke, but I'm gonna say there was a part of me that always had me wanted to feel normal like the world. I think that's the part where I was stupid at. I just wanted to feel normal like the world. So I didn't really want to castrate myself as being better than everybody. Got that?
Big facts. Big facts. Big facts. I just had to close the door for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I always felt like even when I was on the corner, people like, why you with them? I don't listen to my people. And I be saying to myself, I know I ain't supposed to be out with them. You know what I mean? Whatever. I know I ain't supposed to be with this girl, or I know I ain't supposed to be with these type of people. So it was like feeling like you part of the hood versus I could have been rocking out with the Benz and my rap game. Me and my brother Bang back in the days, our rap game was crazy, dog. Like we could have been on some sellout shit. I kind of, in a spiritual way, I'm glad I never did blow up rapping. Right now, I can hit you with bars and you be like, "Oh shit, this nigga really got."
I mean, shit, you wrote one in the comments section the other day, and the way, I mean, just I can tell I'm a rapper myself, I'm a songwriter myself, and just the way it flowed, I mean, just the way it rolled off my tongue when I read it, I'm like,
yeah, it's weird because
okay,
you said
okay.
like how I would have spit it. You said it like how I would have spit it.
Yeah. Just like I said, I'm a rapper too, so just the way it flowed off my tongue, I would just naturally read bars like okay, and there was depth there and everything. There was depth there and everything. So just And last but not least, to bring this full circle, you told me my purpose. You enlightened me about my purpose. What's your purpose, John Hardy?
Well, my purpose is actually to help people heal themselves. I'm an astral life coach. I got a client, right? She got thyroid issues. She got autoimmune disease, and she got Hashimoto. I've been dealing with for a month, using the stars. She's not taking no medication. Listen, I can show you. Look, I can show you her blood reports. She's not taking no medication.
Wow.
In a month, she's not taking no medication. So
Wow.
my thing is to help people heal themselves, you know, not just physically, spiritually. Like I give her a weekly prediction every week. You know what I mean? And I also give her a progress report. You know, I'm a coach for the next 90 days, Astro Life coach for the next 90 days. And I went into the bank today, and she actually worked in the bank. And when I was talking to her, she asked me about two people in the bank, and I just kind of went through them real fast. And I told one girl, I was like, well, you going through it with your man, you want to break up with him? They was like, how you know that? Yo, he's spooky. I was like, you about to break up with your man by the 26th, but don't break up with him because he's focused on money. You want attention, so forth and so on. So I feel like it's a lot of ways that I learned about my personal goal in life or purpose. Because I said my purpose is the goal that I'm trying to achieve. And it's basically dealing with the nut in one shell is humanitarian. See, yours is philosophy and teaching. Mine is humanitarian. You know what I mean? So I was born to help people. And this is how I kind of so-called screwed my life up. But I got no regrets. When I was 14, 19, 23, I used to have so many people in my house. Guess what? I got the same thing right now. I can't stop this if I wanted to. You know what I mean? But I learned from a millionaire, well, you need to get paid for it. Because you can't be doing this and not making a living out of it when you're already living for it, but you're not living off of it. See what I'm saying? So even reading people, that's why I came off of Facebook. Like the next time I go on Facebook, I just cash out me $20. I got you for the week. Because a lot of people on my Facebook were like, yo, everything you name literally happened. It's freaking accurate. That's reading. But when we get into the metaphysical or health part, that's a whole nother ball game. Astro finance, I don't watch people get better jobs than what they was dealing with. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at like, what is my job? My job is just to help people, help humanity rise to a greater level on a global scale, not on some old, I just need to make money. I need to do this on a global scale. So on this aspect, I usually keep a lot of this to myself. Anybody who know me, they're going to be like, this dude, I keep to myself. But if I can help people on a global scale, there's nothing nobody can release. There's nothing nobody, I'm not worrying about no debates. All the religion dudes, the brother Polite, the Dr. Umar, listen, if you're applying it, then talk to me. If you're not applying it, and let's say somebody from Dr. Umar, with all due respect, you know what I mean? He got caught slipping with this girl in a dancer or something like that. Brother Polite got caught slipping. I'm not trying to be that conscious dude to run around like I'm better than everybody. I'm going to sip my wine. But I know everybody who I talk to, life get better every day. Every day. As long as you call me and be like, yeah, you was right. I did get this job. You was right. Me and my girl back together. That's all I want to hear. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that to me, that always been out my life purpose. It's going to continue being it. I try to change it. I went into music. I went into credit repair. I went into computer repair. I've been doing it all, believe me. Cutting hair, I can cut hair, master of all trade. I never knew what was my destiny until last year when I looked and said, I've been doing this all my life. It's time to make it a living.
And on that note, we're going to clap it up for Mr. John Hardy, man. We're going to clap it up, baby. Two things, John. Sir, if you could tell them where to find you, if they want to get in contact with you, and also if the people would like to donate to you. I'll definitely put the donation links if you have any in the description.
Yeah, you can reach me at I'll start pulling up. I'm on Facebook. Give me a second. I believe it's on King John Facebook. JohnRHardy.com on Facebook. 1 second, good brother.
Take your time, fam.
All right, yeah, I'm at johnrhardy.com, and let me go to my page. It'll actually say facebook.com/King John 2020. I'm about to get in trouble because I ain't been on Facebook for a minute. I'm about to get hit with where you was at. You know what I mean? That's the main contact with me right there. And I actually got 88 notifications. 88 is the number of money. 88 is the number of money. So John R. Hardy, that's my name. And you can reach me at www.facebook.com/capital letters King John 2020. I'll be here in 2020.
And if you got any PayPal, Cash App, throw that out too for everybody that's catching this, man. You threw out a lot of priceless information, man.
Yeah, that was just a warm up. I got the Cash App, and if I'm correct, I'm not used.
You know, and if anything, we could just throw it in the description, man. It's all good.
Yeah, that might be one of the descriptions too.
Yeah, we'll throw it up in the description.
But if I'm correct, I think I got a new Astrolife coach at 2020.com. I just need to confirm. I should have had all this written down.
Oh, good. Take your time, man.
These are actually all new, so at least I got it. All right. $ Astrolife Coach 2020. That's the cap for anybody who want to, send some donations. Thank you. Appreciate it in advance. At Google, you can reach me at astrolifecoach1@gmail.com. It's a lot of contacts. Twitter, John R. Hardy again, Astrolife Coach 1. And reach me at Instagram, Astro Enlightenment at Instagram, Astro Enlightenment, and also at YouTube, Astro Enlightenment, and on YouTube, space.
All right, super facts. There it goes. Clap it up one more time for John Hardy, man. I appreciate you, sir. That's some real shit, man. That's some real shit.